Hi there, comic book friends. I'm Travis.
I am the disembodied voice.
And we're still back for the second half of Monster Comics Review. And this is for the, fourth week of October. And we're going to start right out with talking about National Comics Madam X, as opposed to Madam Xanadu. Madam X, number one shot.
Of the one-shots, this one is the second one that I wish had more of a series. I've learned now when I pick them up.
Since Kid Eternity, yeah.
Oh, that was so sad. Anyway, I know. I just tell myself this is it. This is all you get. But I really liked this.
Yeah, so did I.
I would have liked to have seen an ongoing of this particular version of Madam X.
I read ongoing of any of the National Comics. They've all been really interesting. The Rose and Thorn one was kind of creepy, but I would have enjoyed. But as a whole, I would have enjoyed any of them. But you're right. This one and Kid Eternity are probably would be the top of the list of ones to see ongoing. This was really cool. Love that Fiona Staples cover. It's a Fiona Staples cover.
She's kind of awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. You know, it was detective-y. You know, still has some actual magic in it, but it's kind of that flirting on the edge kind of magic, which I always kind of enjoy. Instead of it being straightforward, like, you know, Zatanna casting spells and that sort of thing.
Right. She's more of a, in this particular version, she's more of a clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm. Which is really kind of what...
It appears to be a little bit of magic that she can, you know, cast out of herself, it looks like. But
yeah, I think this is an excellent retelling. I kind of like her being kind of the has-been, you know, being kind of a has-been superstar.
Right, having been sued.
Right, yeah.
For predicting something accurately.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense to me, but billionaires are a little crazy like that.
Well, he's got the money to sue you. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And the Voodoo Queen, it was interesting. And I noticed they reference back to the comic book that,
It's a Vertigo title. Except that, I mean, that character, what's that called? It's called Dominique, what is it?
I can't remember.
Shoot, we're really bad. Should have my information in front of me before I say things like that. But that character, that actual person they're talking about, isn't just a comic book character. I believe there actually is some frame of reference to actual New Orleans with that character and whatnot.
Yeah, and there really is the Marie person that they're talking about in there. She really did exist. She really does have. I mean, there really is a Voodoo Queen.
Right. So that's as much of a frame of reference to that as it is to the comic book that's in the Vertigo title.
Yeah, and I liked the kind of self-comparison where the Voodoo Queen is saying, "I'm magic like you," and Madam X, you know, really does wish that there was somebody else like her.
Right.
But it turns out that, you know, this particular Voodoo Queen is a total, you know...
It was a fraud in this case.
Yeah,
total fraud having to do with politics and stuff like that. And
Junkie Village.
Yeah, it was a really...
But yeah, it was really good.
Good story written by Rob Williams. Yeah. I like the art.
I'm interested in what happened after the end of the...
That is her at the very end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's her foreseeing what appears to be her detective friend shooting her, but I don't really think that that's what it is.
Sure. Well, who knows?
Yeah, I wish we could find out. So I liked that.
So I'm not. I mean, I love these things, and I think this is the last one. I don't think they're solicited any others at this point. And it tells a great one-shot story that makes you really curious as to what's going forward. I mean, you're eager and excited for that. I'm not sure, other than to introduce more characters to the DC universe, even though I'm not sure these people are really in the proper DC universe or not. I'm not sure what the point is of these. Well, I mean, what from a commercial company standpoint, what the point of
you mean what they were thinking
of these one shots? Yeah. Other than, you know, they produced a good one story.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So I don't know. I mean,
I'll be sorry to see these go. I really enjoyed reading them.
Oh yeah, they've been great. But I don't remember. Like I said, I can't remember there being any more. I can't remember having ordered any more because I order them all if they, you know, whatever they are. But I think this was the last one, and they've all been really successful and really enjoyable. I'm just not sure what the like I said, what the company's what their purpose was. What would we rate this book?
4.
Yeah, I give it 4 also. It was enjoyable. Okay, next we're going to talk about Punisher Warzone. number 1 of 5. So in this, we've got the aftermath of the regular Punisher title, which had concluded with Greg Rucka's running it, and Greg Rucka's writing this. Different artist on this title, not nearly as strong as the artist in the that was in the ongoing. The
art was a lot grittier, and this art isn't. It
yeah, the art's shakier in this one, but it's kind of the aftermath of that. Spider-Man's ticked off because he sees that the newspapers are saying that Punisher killed all these cops, and Spider-Man can tell that the Punisher used one of his web slingers, to commit part of the crime, which ticks off Spider-Man. Spider-Man goes to, basically beat Punisher up and bring him in. About time we bring him in. Well, the Punisher ends up, basically sucker punching, Spider-Man to escape. And so
he keeps telling him he doesn't want to hurt him.
Right. So then Spider-Man ends up going and rounding up the Avengers who give a crap about the Punisher as a whole. I mean, they all want to turn a blind eye to the guy. And they kind of get called out on that, turning a blind eye to him. And Captain America decides that, they need to do something. Right at this point, they're just going to send, Captain America tells Spider-Man to stand down and just let Black Widow take care of it. Yeah, Black Widow should take care of it. They're Avengers, and Punisher's just the Punisher. He's just a nutbag with a gun. Of course, Wolverine's around. Wolverine goes and has a chat with him. I thought that chat was pretty cool. Just basically
kind of gives him a heads
up. Dude, me and you are kind of on the same page here. Some people just kind of do deserve to die, and gives him a fair warning. And he takes off. I have problems with part of this story. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. It's going to be an interesting story because I think it's basically going to kind of be, in a way, the Punisher, not him himself, but the writers, calling out all these Avengers on their own behavior, I think, to some degree. Sure. It's kind of what's going to be the story is going to be about. How he survives all these people chasing after him, I have no idea. That'll be kind of interesting to see how that works. But I really dislike the fact that Peter Parker, Spider-Man, who is constantly dogged, harassed, and the Bugle says bad things about him all the time.
Misunderstood.
He picks up the newspaper and believes what it says.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And he doesn't ask him, hey, so did you actually do that?
I mean, I also understand is that maybe that's not 100% the case. Just in the fact that the Punisher is responsible for these deaths in some sense because he was in the building and started all this chaos that got these police killed. Whether he actually killed them or not, I could see Spider-Man going, look, your behavior, your antics caused all this death. But that's not kind of how it really does seem like he picks up the newspaper and goes, that, you killed these dudes and I don't really care whether you did or not. He finally says, I don't care if you did or not, I'm tired of you. I'm done. It's time to clean this up. It's time to take care of you. The two of them have lots of history together. I mean, Punisher started out as a villain, I believe, in Spider-Man comic. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah. But, that part kind of bugged me. What did you think of this book? Anything you want to say about it?
I want to see where it's going, but it's about half the book 2/3 of the book that the Punisher run was, which was pretty amazing. So I guess I will give it a 3 and wait and see. I just like seeing
the 3. Yeah. So. Like I said, I like this writer. I trust Greg Rucka to tell us something. Too. It's not just going to be a matter of them running him down and trying to catch him and him escaping. There's going to be more to it. There's going to be I believe there will be some meta story to it. There already was. There wasn't this one. Just the fact, Spider-Man pointing to all the Avengers and going, look, because this guy's killing bad guys most of the time, you guys just turn a blind eye to the dude. He's a crazy rogue idiot shooting everybody up with guns. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. He is not the law. The whole idea is we capture people and let the law figure it out, not us. So there already is some...
So you think that each one of them is going to have some sort of revelation? Is this a limited series?
Yeah, it's 5. 5 issues.
Oh, well, that kind of makes sense then.
Yeah, it's
like one per Avenger plus Frank, right?
What do you got? Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow,
Maybe
Captain
not.
America. Depends on how many of them actually chase him down and whatnot.
Yeah, it could be one per event.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, I think there's definitely going to be more to it than simply that. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But like I said, though, not a big fan of the art. I wish they would have gotten better artists. I know that Chichetto, he does the cover of this one, and he did a lot of the art in the regular Punisher series while Greg was on it. He's got some family stuff going on that's made it to where he really right now has to back away from comics. So I'm not going to fault him for that, but it would have been awesome if he would have done it. Next, we'll talk about The Shadow, and this is issue 6 and the final arc of this story, I believe. What'd you think?
I wasn't crazy about this whole arc. I love the Shadow, like the radio Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was wonderful. And it's not that he doesn't, appear out of nowhere and, kick butt and do what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know, this seemed like kind of a strung out storyline. I kind of lost track of who was who for a while. That's probably just me. Yeah, I understand the concept of the arc, but I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
So
what did you want to see out of it? I mean, did you want to see him more on like a street level, dealing with thugs or criminals in a city, that kind of a setting, mystery kind of thing?
I seriously don't know. I just know that it just seemed like this took a long time to get from point A to point B. And sometimes a 6-issue arc just seems like it's over in a heartbeat, and sometimes it seems to drag on. And this, for me, dragged on a bit.
Okay.
And I kind of like, okay, now we're on a plane, and now we're in the, here, and now we're on the boat. And I think that maybe I need to have read them closer together or paid better attention or something. I think it's probably, maybe it's just me. But
Okay.
I'm willing to keep reading it because I do really like the character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed this arc. I enjoyed this issue. I liked the way it ended. I love the whole fate thing that ends up happening at the end of it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That
Kondo was such a...
Yeah.
I try not to use those mean words.
Yeah, he's... evil jackass for sure. I mean, not jackass isn't the right thing. He's diabolical, basically. I mean, he helps wipe out his own... He helps wipe out the people he's working for, because he's not really working for Japan, or, bad guy in this. He is literally working for himself, and he's going to screw everybody and screw their daughters.
As he's committing seppuku, or however you say that.
Yeah.
Seppuku.
Yeah.
How you say that? Yeah, that was probably...
Yeah, the general's gutting himself because they think they've had a massive failure.
Biggest, climactic evil point of the whole thing. And so, yeah, I really did want to see Kondo go down.
So he's gutting himself for that, and Kondo is his second, so he's going to cut his head off as he's suffering the gut wound he's giving himself. And right before he cuts his head off, he says, "Hi, I lied. The rocks that we supposedly collected, they are real rocks. They are what we were actually after. And after I lop your head off, I'm going to go back to Japan and have a real great time. Screw your 2 daughters. Have sex with your 2 daughters." And and lops his head
Sell
off.
him to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, it was wicked, but very cool. Like I said, I really enjoyed this. I mean, I wasn't sure what I was expecting out of the Shadow. I really expected it to be kind of a street level thing. I kind of like this huge, overreaching World War II thing. I mean, this puts the Shadow in the realm of potentially having saved all of America, as opposed to arresting a few bad guys here or there. I mean, and in the process, because they put it in South Asia and through China and whatnot, we got to, along the way, they filled us in on the little bits and pieces that make the Shadow who he is. We get to hear some backstory of the potential stories and legends as to how come the Shadow has the powers that he has and does what he does and stuff. And I thought that was a great way of, if you didn't know anything about the Shadow, giving us some of that information, giving us part of his quote-unquote origin story while maintaining a regular plot, as opposed to stopping the plot to go, oh, here's the origin story, kind of thing. So I really liked it. I do not believe that this is written by Garth Ennis and art by Aaron Campbell, and I don't believe either one of these guys are on the book going forward. And I don't know if it's just they're taking a break, or they just signed on for an arc and now someone else is going to do it. So I'll be curious to see what's going forward next. I'm a big fan of the Shadow character. So unless it really starts to stink, I'll pick it up because it's a shadow, and I like him showing up out of nowhere with a big scarf and the 45's shooting the hell out of everything and everything else. And I like some of the smart things that happen in this. I mean, I love his kind of his monologue to the special agent, the CIA agent that's along, and why he's really there. He's just a pretty face.
He's just the guy.
He's just a pretty face to promote the government thing. That's why he's there. So you just kind of need to stay out of the way. And the fact they do sneaky things like plant all of those all of those water mines all over the ground, and then he caught all the excuse me, all the Japanese soldiers into chasing after him up on the hillside, and they blow themselves up. Yeah, that was cool. Like I said, I really enjoyed the comic. I liked this arc. I thought it had a very satisfying ending because of the ending of it. Of course, the rocks that they were collecting was uranium, which of course they make a bomb out of. And at the very end of this, the Shadow's talking about how Kando will meet his fate. His fate will get him because, of course, the Shadow, one of his powers is he can kind of see into the future and see how fate deals with people. And in this case, Kando happens to be in Hiroshima, right?
Yes.
Happens to be in Hiroshima when they drop the bomb, and he is vaporized. So a very satisfying ending to that Crete.
Yes.
So,
I agree with you there.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to more of it. I would give it a 4.
And I'll give it a 3 because maybe it was just too hard for a girl with a cold. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Okay. And finally, we are going to talk about Sixth Gun number 26 as we continue to deal with what we now know is the Windigo that is attacking them. And they've decided that they're going to go take it to the Windigo. Now that they know what it is that's attacking them, forget it. They're going to take it to the Windigo. And so in the process of them stomping along through the coal, we're all wrapped up in all kinds of wrapping. I don't know if Drake Sinclair is telling Becky this story or if he's just remembering the last time he had to deal with the Wendigo once before.
I think he might be telling her the story.
Just how bad it really is. Like,
Because
look, it's not
by
just
the
simply
end,
kill a monster.
She understands.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it probably is the case. So we get to see some time in his past where him and Billy John are with another woman who obviously has been wronged by these criminals. I get the impression that they probably raped her or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
And they're going to hunt down these thugs, these criminals. She's paying them top dollar to kill these guys. And she really wants them dead. She wants to shoot them all. And herself, if she can. They can't get a shot off from where they are, so they go into the camp. They find all these guys in this remembering backstory. They're all missing their heads. And then they come across this...
And there's one missing.
One guy missing. This giant stag shows up, and it is the Wendigo, and on its horns
White stag, bloody feet. I really like the actual picture of it is really cool.
Yeah. And it's got the head of all these villains stuck on its antlers. And the heads still talk, because they're possessed by the Wendigo or whatever. And they all talk to her, and that's when we get the impression that she's been raped by them. And, of course, they run away freaking out, trying to get away. And they find out that they find the one guy that's missing, and he has, like, been possessed. He's like the...
kind of a host body.
Right. So as long as the host body's around, then the Wendigo can operate. And so they shoot this, right as the Wendigo's about ready to crush them, this stag is about ready to crush them, they shoot this guy dead, and that makes it disappear. So giving us the impression that obviously how to defeat this wolf Wendigo that Becky and Drake are dealing with now is to find the host. And as they're stomping out into the woods, they kind of comment on the fact as Drake is the only one that's crawling down to this cave where they think that they're hiding at. Becky stays outside because she knows this is a job that she doesn't really want to do.
Actually, I thought it was just that he knows now that she realized why he said he was going to go by himself. Do you think she's going to stay outside the cave? Make him do it himself?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think she'll go inside. I don't think she'll go inside unless she gets chased inside the cave at the last moment.
Okay. Well.
And of course, we note that at the town they were in where all the frozen people are, there are no frozen women and there are no frozen children. And they're all down in the cave, all with their eyes glowing blue. So Drake's going to be taxed with having to shoot all these kids in.
Then meanwhile, back at the ranch, not really.
In the mummy, the magician, and the thief and they're riding in their wagon, their medicine wagon from a carny thing.
And I love how
Are being
it
chased by
says
the-
that, has that line about how, when you're gonna steal a wagon, to have stolen something a little.
Little less conspicuous.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm traveling with a 9-foot mummy.
I'm traveling with a 9-foot mummy. This is inconspicuous. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they get chased down. They get chased down by the sons of Abraham, who are supposedly the good guys working for God, who are going to purge anybody that's in the way of them getting the guns back. And of course, these guys tend to kind of be in the way right now, so they're trying to kill them. And they have a discussion about the fact that, of course, I know the thief. They know the thief is going to try and steal the guns again, but they probably shouldn't. But they all kind of need to team together and keep their crap together because they have to deal with this, greater problems that they have going on. But they get chased by the sons of Abraham. They throw all kinds of potions and stuff out of the wagon that explode and whatnot, and that's kind of fun.
The mummy takes care of some, and the mummy catches the thief and saves him. So.
Right, and then the mummy gets like some magic thing on him with his staff, and so the thief shoots the staff. And
that's hilarious because
right.
the sons are like, "Oh, he's weakening." Oh,
right.
They're just sure that they've got everything all under control.
And the staff gets shot too.
So that doesn't work out so well for them.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting when that all meets up together. It'll be really. Yeah. I'm really curious to see how that.
When they convene, when
but
they cross paths again, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Though I'm not quite sure what is going to happen when Becky meets the thief again.
Yeah, sees how he left her basically naked, sitting in a tub.
And completely hypnotized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, last time they saw each other, she told him that if she saw him
again, she'd shoot him. Yeah.
Well, she didn't tell him that, but she knew he could hear her when she was saying it out loud.
Yeah, she won't. She won't shoot him.
I know she won't because he's with.
So Drake will shoot him instead.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Anyway, excellent book. I still love the daylights out of this book. The combination of Western, the whole world building ripping down, and all the magical beasties we get in it, spread out throughout it, whatnot. I just, continue to be thrilled with the book. What do you think?
This is probably the best book in the bunch, and consistently one of the best books we read. I loved it. I always do.
So what we rate it?
4? Strong 4,
yep.
5?
I give it a 4.
Do we really even go up to 5?
Yeah, I do. If a book blows my socks off, yeah.
Okay, so you save your 5s for Saga?
Sometimes.
Okay, I was just curious.
I gave issue 21, the silent issue where there was no words in the entire book. I gave it a 5.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was. So it's not like I don't give out 5s.
Okay, sorry, I just barely hear them.
It's because I don't let you read the good books. Or don't let you do good reviews or something. That's it. We're done. That's it for this time around. Anything you want to add?
Thanks for having me.
Okay. We'll catch you down the road. Bye.